This is a tragic story that unfolded in a quiet HDB estate in Bedok South, where an elderly woman's lonely passing went unnoticed for days, until a chilling discovery shocked the neighborhood. Stay tuned, because this story raises questions about social isolation, community care, and the importance of checking in on our elderly loved ones. On the afternoon of May 25th, a disturbing scene emerged at Block 163 Bedok South Road. Residents had been going about their usual routines when police vehicles suddenly arrived at the block, sparking concern among neighbors. The police had cordoned off a corridor outside the flat of a 77-year-old woman, whom neighbors knew as Nancy. What led to this grim discovery was a series of overlooked signs that perhaps could have been a call for help if only they had been recognized earlier. 2 days before her death was uncovered, Nancy's sister had spoken with her on the phone. That was on May 22nd. But after that call, Nancy became uncontactable. Her sister returned to check on her on May 25th, but received no response at the door. Outside Nancy's flat, a food packet had been left hanging on the front door since May 23rd untouched. A neighbor's wife had noticed it, and by the next day it was still there, left uncollected. Then came the most chilling discovery. At around 1 p.m. on May 25th, a 70-year-old resident, Madame Zhang, who lives directly below Nancy's unit, noticed something deeply unsettling. Blood was dripping from the ceiling of her master bedroom. Her family placed a towel on the floor to absorb it, but as the smell intensified, they realized something was very wrong. The smell of death lingered in the air. Madame Zhang's son, upon realizing the situation, went upstairs with Nancy's sister to investigate. A locksmith was called, but even he refused to proceed further after detecting the strong stench coming from within the flat. At that point, the gravity of the situation became clear. The sister, in a state of shock and desperation, finally alerted the police. When authorities forced entry into the unit, they found Nancy's body, lifeless and severely decomposed. The sight was described as harrowing. Her blood had seeped through the floor, dripping into the flat below. A hearse arrived around 6 p.m. to take away the body. Nancy had lived alone in that flat for over 25 years. Her niece later shared that the police had informed the family that Nancy likely passed away in her sleep. They were told that her body had started decomposing, leading to the seepage of fluids into the unit below. Nancy had no known cardiovascular disease, making her sudden death a shock to her loved ones. Given the state of her body, the family decided against holding a funeral and opted for immediate cremation. Authorities confirmed that no foul play was suspected. However, this case leaves us asking, how does a woman living for decades in a community end up dying alone unnoticed for days? This is not just an isolated incident. It's a stark reminder of the silent struggles many elderly individuals face in Singapore, especially those living alone. How can communities strengthen support systems to prevent such tragedies? Should there be more active neighbor checks, especially for seniors living alone? And what can families do to ensure regular contact, particularly for elderly relatives who might not seek help readily? Let's also reflect on the psychological toll this takes on family members and neighbors, witnessing such a grim discovery and grappling with the guilt of what if we had checked sooner. Do you think more could have been done in this case, or was it simply an unfortunate reality of urban life and an aging population? Tell us in the comments below, have you ever encountered a similar situation or known someone who lives alone and could be at risk? Do you think community programs or technological solutions like wellness sensors should become more widespread? And how can we all be more vigilant without intruding on privacy? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to 2230 for more in-depth discussions, and share this story with someone who might benefit from this important conversation.